Looking for some basic tips on how to use both assistive and mainstream technology in general? Check out the Teachability section on our website.
The opinions expressed on Teachavision are solely those of the guests and hosts and do not represent other companies or third parties. Thank you for listening.
Hello, and welcome to Teachavision, a podcast by Screenless allies, where everyone has a different vision of learning. And now, here's your host, Jose Briceño.
Hello there! Welcome to episode number 44 of Teachavision. Man, we're almost to 50. Crazy, isn't it? The pieces of the puzzle are falling into place for the podcast. Thank you for joining us today, and we really hope that you continue to share this podcast with your friends, with your parents, with anyone on the street. Please let them know to check out our podcast and our website, screenlessallies.com. On today's episode, we're going to wrap up the interview with Sarai Hernandez. We are at the end. How do these adaptive sports work? Along with her giving us some resources that we can use to learn more about these sports. All this and more right here on Teachavision by Screenless Allies. Track. What did you end up using when you were running? I remember real quick when I was a kid. When I did track, they had someone stand at the end of the, like where the finish line is. And this was back when elementary school, it was, well, I don't know about your small town, but I know in my small town, track meets were like a thing for like all the elementary kids.
Yeah, they had track and field day.
Yeah, they didn't do the long jump or they didn't do the softball throw after I hit a coach in a place where you really don't want to get hit by a softball.
Oh, no.
It was a baseball, actually is what it was. It wasn't even a softball. But, they told me to throw it, so I did. But then I heard the, oh. I remember this because I was a third grader. I went, that was fun. Apparently hitting people in private parts was probably the most fun thing I ever had in my life with the softball. So they never signed me up for that anymore, but they did sign me up for running. And what they did was they had someone stand at the finish line and they just rang a bell or the coach blew their whistle, which bless the coach's heart that was blowing his whistle. I don't know how the heck he did it, but he managed to make it. He had a lot of air because those runs were long, and so
yeah,
I'm like, man, I don't know how you did it. But since you went into this in depth as you got older, what did you use as guidance for running in track?
There are different accommodations for track running. Like one is sort of my main thing that I use. So it's just a guide runner, and so it's just a human person that is just running with you, and so they have to run your same speed. And actually, I don't remember if you have to be like one step in front of them or they have to be, no, I think, yeah, you have to be like one step in front of them. Obviously, if they see something, they're gonna take you around it and everything, so there's no danger. And I would run like that with the person on the track because I couldn't see the lines to stay in the lanes. But then I would also run like that on trails around lakes and around the city. They do have these tethers where your guide runner holds one side and you hold the other side. I need to just use it more to see if I like it, but I just preferred just holding on to their arm and running like that. Also, I don't know about all of the schools for the blind, but I know the one in Texas has a track and the outside of it has a rail on it.
Yes.
All the way around. I would say for jogging, I would use that, but never for sprinting or anything. I mean, you're running really fast. So those are some adaptations for track. And then, I did forget to mention, I did also do, in high school, I did marching band. And, yeah, I did marching band. And then I was also a stepper. And I don't know if you know what that is, but it's just people who make different, basically beats with their body, with their legs. And then they do tricks and stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, I was an idler. You know what that is?
No.
It's the guy that just stood there on the field playing a keyboard while the band was marching. That's what it is. Best job ever.
Oh, yeah. I did that.
I'm not bitter.
I did that whenever I had to play the xylophone, because you can't march with a xylophone on the field. It's way too hard. I did get to march when I was playing other instruments, and also got to march in the parades and stuff.
Just put the xylophone on little wheels. Just imagínate, just with the wheels. You're
no, yeah, too big. I would not want to do that. It would be heavy.
Well, they put So they, unless what?
I said it would be heavy because it'd be on grass.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Pushing it around, yeah.
Or where you could just go on your bike and playing it in front of you or something. the pedals like somehow were configured to the mallets and just, you just kept it. And the reason I went a little while ago is because I was in marching band myself for a year. But, they originally asked me what instrument I wanted to play, and they gave me like 3 options. They were like, do you want to play the xylophone, tenor sax, or the baritone, right? And I said, well, let's try the baritone. I wanted to try something new. Then they came back and said, well, since you play piano, we'll just have you play a piano instead of keyboard. And then they put me on the field, and I didn't march with the band. I just kind of was standing there in the field, and they didn't even connect my keyboard to speakers like for the longest time. The only time that they connected my keyboard to that was the competition. And at that point, they did have to connect me because, they had to hear the whole band. So I was pretty much excluded from marching. They didn't even let me go to competition for concert. They actually had me stay back. So the original reason I started band was because I wanted to kind of see like behind the scenes of what it was like practicing the music, learning to play the music, and then going to pep rallies and playing it. It ended up kind of teaching me that I had to be more open and more vocal about my needs.
I would say the same thing with marching band for me too. It's a really good like self-advocacy opportunity because you do like some things you do need, or you need help with certain things. And like for me, the parades were rough. I had to tell them like, hey, I need a little bit of help, like in case I get slightly off, because we're moving and you have to sometimes walk slower than others because in a parade there's other people like also marching and stuff. And so I would say the same thing, like it was a really good experience for learning to speak up for yourself, and also challenges like a lot of different skills. Some of my years were definitely more enjoyable than others in marching band, but I have a lot of really good experiences, and I love like going to the football games and just all of those. Just so many awesome memories.
Yeah.
With my,
what did you play apart from the xylophone?
So I played percussion. So I played bass drum. I played like everything pretty much, like snare, tambourine, wood blocks, like xylophone.
Cymbals?
Yeah, just whatever cymbals. Yeah, whatever.
The cymbals. Oh yeah.
Depending on the thing,
At the end of the day, as an adult, I can say that marching band was one of those things where it taught me that I needed to. Because honestly, I'm shy. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but I really am shy when it comes to meeting new people.
It's a different kind of shy too. Like speaking up for yourself and talking to people are 2 different things.
So I stopped doing marching band for after that, but I've learned now to be more vocal, advocate more. I do get it. I do get where she's coming from. So there's that. So marching band. And I remember I said, well, I'm sure all other blind people have probably failed in marching band. And then I hear your story and then I'm going, no. Well, then, no. See, I hear someone else, another blind person, on TV. On TV. They did a news story on her. I remember this. It was another town, and they're like, local blind person of X high school is in marching band playing a baritone, and they show pictures of her marching with the whole band. I'm going, you know what? I'm about to go beat someone up over there.
Yeah, well, it's awesome. And then I think, like I said, kids today are really great at speaking up for themselves. With technology, like they can research and they can just
That's true.
see that it's really cool. I think it just depends also on the adult who you're working with. Like that'll either make or break the experience for someone.
True.
And I was lucky that I had one adult that was amazing and the other adult was not so great. But because I did have somebody that was really positive, really awesome, it kind of made me ignore all of the other stuff with the other person.
Right.
So, and I had like really cool friends and band, and it was a lot of really good memories.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm really thankful for that experience.
Oh, definitely. But we went way off topic.
Want honest, non-influenced reviews over assistive and mainstream technology from a blind person's perspective? Check out the Teachability reviews on our website.
Okay, so we talked about marching band. Now tell me, what's beep baseball like?
Beep baseball is an adaptive form of regular baseball. You have 2 bases instead of 3. Really, I'm so bad with regular baseball. I think regular baseball has 3. We only have 2. And so you have first base and you have third base. The ball is about the size of it's like a softball, and it's about a pound. So it's pretty heavy. It's got like the stuff inside of it to make the sound. Players are blindfolded to help kind of even the playing field. And you have one team, you have your 6 people playing at a time, like on each team.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have people like on your bench and stuff, but you have, let's say, your offense, right? They're all blindfolded. So one person bats at a time. And then in the defense, you've got a field set up. And so all teams run their defenses a little differently as far as like where they put them on the field or how far back or, how they kind of scatter them. But you have 6 people on the field. If you're on the offense, your goal is to hit the ball. And your pitcher is not like in regular baseball where they're on the opposite team.
Mm-hmm.
Your pitcher in beat baseball is on the same team as you. And so your goal is to work together to hit the ball. And so he's aiming for the same spot every time. Your goal as the batter is to swing at the right timing. Like your timing consistency, your swing consistency so that the pitcher can aim and you guys can hit the ball. If you're batting, your goal is to run to the base. So either one of the bases will make a sound, either first base or third base. So when you hear that sound, you run to that base, and then your goal is to get there before somebody in the field picks up your ball. And so if you get there before they pick it up, then it's a run. But if the fielder picks up the ball before you get there, then it's an out. Now, it is important to know that when you get the ball on the field, you have to have control of the ball, so it has to be away from your body. You have to show that you have really good control. So if you drop it, like in football, they say fumble the ball. But if you drop the ball, then it doesn't count. You have to have really good control of it.
Now, it's important to note that if you were to do this at a crowd, the crowd has to be quiet when these are going off. Is that right?
Yeah, so the crowd could cheer after the umpire says safe or out. They can make sound then. They'll say, bases, please. And that's your cue to shh. Every time every batter goes up, just to help kind of orient them, they'll sound the first base and then the third base so you can hear where they are. That way, kind of make sure you're oriented. Whenever the play is going on, everybody has to be really quiet. And once the umpire says safe or out, then everybody can cheer. I mentioned that the bases make a sound. The ball also makes a noise. Okay. And they make a different sound. So which one's the ball and which one's the base.
Right. Okay, cool. You're talking about beat baseball. I only played it once. It was kind of cool, but I ate a lot of food and I love food. So that being said, it wasn't the best runner, but it was kind of fun.
Well, yeah. And I think that when they simulate, I tried it when I was a kid too. And I was like, oh, not really for me, but it's so different as an adult. It's really fun. It's a really awesome team sport. Everybody's just like a big family on my team. And I have so many awesome memories. And I love traveling and getting to meet people from so many different places in the US and other countries as well. And every time everybody sees each other, it's like one big family and everybody's so excited to see each other, and it's just really an awesome sport and an awesome way to meet people.
I think you mentioned a little while ago, but I just want to make sure. So after you hit the 2 bases, that's considered home, right?
You just hit one.
One, okay. The second base is technically home, right?
Remember how you hit the ball, right? And one base will make a sound. You just run straight to that base. That's it. To get a home run, the ball has to be hit 170 feet in the air and then land on the ground after that. So if it lands, let's say 150 feet and touches the ground, it doesn't count. It has to be in the air and land after the 170 foot mark, which is pretty hard to do.
Oh, I'm sure. That definitely makes sense. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I had the mentality of, okay, cool, first, second, third base, then home run.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, it only has 2 bases, so now first, second, home run, right? But no, it's first base, you make it there, cool. All right, so how about Goalball?
Goalball is an adaptive sport, and you have 3 people on a team playing at a time. So again, you can have people on your bench, only 3 people on the court at a time. And so you have a ball, I believe it's 7 pounds. It's like a basketball, but if you can imagine a basketball that's heavy and has some weight in it. There's some bells inside. And so your goal is to basically kind of throw/roll. If you could kind of like bowling. There's lots of different ways to throw the ball, but it basically has to be on the ground before a certain line. Otherwise, they call it a high ball, which is not a good thing because it's considered a penalty. And so your goal is to kind of throw/roll this ball along the court and get it past all of the people on the other team, which is the goal. If you're one team, your goal is to try to throw it into that goal. But if you're the team that's blocking, your goal is to use your body to stop the ball, to make sure it doesn't go in.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, and I'm sure that's a little painful sometimes, I'm sure.
Back and forth, yeah. Yeah, it can be, for sure. Blocking it with your body.
It's kind of like air hockey on steroids.
Kind of, it's definitely back and forth. Games in Goalball are a lot shorter than, NBA baseball. The games are pretty long, an hour and a half, sometimes maybe 2 hours, I would say. But in Goalball, they're pretty quick. They can vary. They can do 5-minute halves, so you have a 10-minute game. It doesn't actually last 10 minutes because they'll stop the clock for certain things, but it's still like less than an hour.
Gotcha.
Maybe 30 minutes, I would say, probably 30, 45 minutes max.
And again, the crowd would still have to be quiet for this.
Yeah, and the same thing. Yeah, you have to be quiet until the play's over.
And the reason I'm putting that out there about them being quiet is because, again, those balls aren't loud. And they're not going to make a big ball with the volume of a Bluetooth speaker or PA system. So it makes more sense for the crowd to be quiet. So that way the blind person can orient themselves and be able to find the ball and such. I'm curious to know how blind soccer is going to work, to be honest with you.
I will let you know when I try it because I haven't tried it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to know. Does your team have like a Facebook page that people can like keep up with you guys and kind of see where you're going?
Yeah, so my team is the Austin Blackhawks and we have a Facebook page. There's also the National Beat Baseball Association Facebook page, or NBBA. And as far as Goalball, I know USABA has kind of the main page, but I think a really good place to follow a page that kind of shows a little bit of everything. Goalball, beat baseball, blind soccer, any kind of blind sport or just an adaptive sport is TAPI, Texas Adaptive Player Initiative. It's a new organization that some of my friends are a part of, and it's a nonprofit, and their goal is to kind of spread awareness of sports in Texas and kind of provide sometimes like fun tournaments and stuff. And that would be a really good page to follow because they post a lot of, like I said, a little bit of everything.
Thank you again to Sarai for taking time out of her schedule to conduct this interview with me. For the rest of you, stay tuned because there is many more insights coming up on Teachavision.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Teachavision. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to check out previous shows, which are equally informative and fun as this one. Make sure to also check out our website at screenlessallies.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/ScreenlessAlliesOfficial. Do you have any suggestions or comments? Why not email us, info@screenlessallies.com. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.